like most people, including myself, the only pension we have is Social Security, so why not maximize it? And being scared and taking it early because you think it's going to run the money is a horrible idea.
Hello, this is Mark Silverman, managing member and founder of Silverman & Associates, and I'm also a certified financial planner professional. I want to welcome you to the Saving with Silverman podcast. I'm glad you're here. Each week, we'll discuss different financial planning topics because making smarter choices about your money impacts the quality of your life.
Well, let's talk about delayed gratification. In these days, everybody wants it now. They want what they want right now, and they don't want to put it off. But delayed gratification is something that can be very rewarding. It's a difficult skill to master, and that's just as true with financial matters as it is in other areas of your life. Let's talk about some instances where you might be faced with the choice of being satisfied now or satisfied later. First of all, on my list here, getting some relief on the household budget versus getting the 401k match.
Yeah, and that's an easy one. I mean, it's free money. So it disturbs me when I see people that have a 401k and then aren't contributing at least the minimum amount to get the full match, because that's just free money, which is your money. So if you leave that job and you're still, there's a vesting schedule with some of them, but as long as you stay for that period of time, that's your money. The money you put in is yours. The money that they're going to match, there's usually a vesting schedule. So if you're there for X number of years, that you will get that money as well. And that's just free money on top of whatever the growth of those investments have done. So that's a simple one. If you're younger, you should be at least doing that. If you're older, hopefully you have been doing that. If you're not, you're going to be way behind. But you should be hopefully the goal is to try to max out your 401k the best you can. And you should be getting to that point as you're getting closer to retirement.
I don't know why anybody would not take advantage of that opportunity if they really stop and think about it, because it's free money you're leaving on the table.
And it's their money. It's not the company's money. It's your money. The money you put in is always yours no matter what. Mm-hmm. The match usually, like I said, has a vesting schedule, but that could be a couple years or sometimes even shorter. But, it's free money that you're not getting. And so,
yeah. We're talking about delayed gratification on today's show, Saving with Silverman. How about getting a tax deduction now versus better tax planning for the future?
Yeah, and that comes down to, whether that's using traditional IRAs or 401ks to what we call Roth or Roth 401ks, which are out there now too. So the big difference, and I'll explain this if people that don't understand it, but if you put money into a traditional IRA or 401k or other, tax deferred account, TSP, 403b, etc., the money that you put in now, you're getting a tax break on. So if you contribute, say, $10,000 this year into that, it's pre-tax. That money's not taxed. It grows tax deferred. And then in the future, when you need to start withdrawing that money, it's going to be taxed as taxable income, ordinary income. Mm-hmm. Versus a Roth, the money goes in after tax, so you've already paid taxes on that money. It still grows tax deferred, and then coming out, it's all tax free. So, if you're putting in $1 now and it's worth $3 later, would you rather save on $1 today or save on $3 in the future? But that's the way I like to explain it to people. Yeah. And a lot of people aren't using the Roth option if they do have 401ks, or not using Roths for new account, different accounts. And they're talking about changing some of these things, unfortunately, as we speak. Hopefully some of these changes that this administration is trying to put in place don't happen. Yeah. But we will have to see and make the best that we can with what the rules are at this point in time.
And chances are that taxes are going to be higher in the future than they are now. So another thing to take into account there.
They have to be. This debt's not going to pay itself off. Unfortunately, the way that the debt is now and the spending that's gone on, certainly the last few years, they can tax us as much as they want to, and it's still not going to pay off this debt. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's a reality. Mm-hmm. Taxes are going to have to go up no matter what.
We're talking about delayed gratification with Mark Silverman, and here's an easy one, I think, for anybody to figure this out. Starting Social Security at 62, which is when you're legally allowed to start it, versus starting later and getting a bigger benefit. That's kind of a no-brainer there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that, and part of our planning process is we actually have a software that we use, and we'll illustrate for each individual, based on your age and the amount that you're going to get if you're married, for both of you, and show you what those amounts are. Because what people don't realize, it grows at 8% guaranteed per year from 62 on to full retirement, on to the maximum age, which is age 70. So if you have other assets and you've done a great job of saving money, and you do retire prior to those to 70, for example, then it makes sense in some cases to take money from those accounts and let this grow at 8% guaranteed. The only place you get 8% guaranteed these days is through the government. Yeah. It's not some pie-in-the-sky annuity offer that you hear on the radio. That's not a true 8% or 10% or whatever they're claiming they get these days. So it's a big deal. And if you take it prior to full retirement age, which is usually 66 to 67 for most people, and you're still working or have earned income, you've got to pay some of that back, which most people don't realize either. So there's a lot of things, and Social Security can be taxable depending on how much money you make. So there's lots of different factors involved, and we'll run an analysis for our clients to show them, what's the best way to do it to maximize that. Because like most people, including myself, the only pension we have is Social Security, so why not maximize it? And being scared and taking it early because you think it's going to run out of money is a horrible idea.
I suppose in some cases, not many, it might be good for one particular person to start taking it at 62, but that's rare. And, it's a good opportunity to, if you can hold off as long as you can, that money's just going to keep growing. So, hey, makes perfect sense.
It does. I mean, the only caveat is life expectancy. So if you're going to die early, or there's a terminal illness, something like that, then obviously that could change things. But if you have a normal life expectancy, most of the time, it makes sense to delay it.
Yeah. You're listening to Saving with Silverman with Mark Silverman, and if you'd like to have a conversation with Mark, I'm going to give you the phone number in just a moment here, but Mark Silverman, for folks who want to call in and arrange to have a complimentary conversation with you, what do they need to prepare before they call?
There's nothing they need to prepare. I mean, if you're calling, there's got to be something that I've said, or some financial issue or stressor that you have that you'd like to have an answer to, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you. It's a 15 to 20 minute introductory call. Ron will give out the number here in a minute, but you can call or text. Christine will reach back out to you, who works with me, and get you on my calendar. You'll actually speak with me. I don't pawn you off on somebody else. Some people are surprised when I'm the one that they're talking to, but that's how it works here. I'm based here in Tucson. And we'll have a conversation. I'll answer any questions that you have. Happy to get into a little bit about our financial planning process, what that looks like. And then if we're on the same page at the end of that call, we can talk about next steps of having you come into the office to get a little deeper as far as what our laying out what our financial planning process looks like, and kind of walk you through that process. So again, I'm a fiduciary, I'm a CFP, a little bit different, or a lot of bit different, I guess, than compared to some of the other people that are on the radio who are you're usually trying to sell something or not based here in Tucson. I'm here in Tucson, so we are fiduciaries, etc. And our goal is to help as many people as we can. That doesn't always mean that you would become a client, but I'm happy to try to at least point you in the right direction if you're not a good fit, if we don't find we're a good fit for one another. So first step is reaching out.
You've been listening to the Saving with Silverman podcast. If you have any questions at all about your financial situation, please give Mark Silverman a call. Again, his number is 520-333-7601, or go online to savingwithsilverman.com. For Mark Silverman, I'm Ron Stutz. We'll see you next time on the Saving with Silverman podcast.
The Saving with Silverman podcast is brought to you by Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, based in Tucson, Arizona. The show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show on your favorite app today and never miss an episode. Just search for Saving with Silverman to find us, or visit savingwithsilverman.com to listen to past episodes, to contact Mark, and to learn more about how to make smarter decisions with your money.
Did you know that Mark Silverman also has a radio show? Tune in to Saving with Silverman Saturdays and Sundays at 3 p.m. on AM 790 KNST.
All matters discussed on this show are for informational purposes only. Opinions expressed are solely those of Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, and staff. All topics covered are believed to be from reliable sources. However, Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC makes no representation as to its accuracy or completeness. This show shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or investment advisory services to residents of any state other than Arizona or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Fee-based financial planning and investment advisory services offered through Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Arizona. Insurance products and services are offered through Silverman & Associates, an affiliated company.